Fortnite has had dozens of POIs, but not all of them were great. Some of them were absolute disasters, and some were just kind of mid. But some were crazy good. They were the best POIs to land at. So today I will be ranking every named POI ever, from the worst to the absolute best across all chapters. So let's get into it and let's see if your POI made it in. We're gonna start off with the worst of the worst, the F tier. These POIs were so bad I wouldn't even land there in bot lobbies. If I ever landed it, it was because I was being forced by a friend. So let's get into it. Firstly, Coral Castle. That's Aquaman's retirement home. Horrible loot, weird terrain, and the biggest waste of a POI ever. I'd rather fight in Storm. There's just not good loot there. So next is Mossy Mire from Chapter 1. You drop there and there's no loot, no cover, just depression. And you're just playing a survival game instead of playing Fortnite. It's just really bad. Next, we have the Block 2.0. It was a cool idea in theory, but all the community created POIs were just straight up unplayable. They were just really weird. I know it was a cool idea, and I liked playing it, but it was just not good. Next, we have Shattered Slabs. The kinetic ore was so fun, but getting third party every 2 seconds wasn't. If you landed there, you just loved fighting, or you loved suffering, one of those two. Next, we have Brutal Boxcars from Chapter 6. It's a train yard with zero cover and awful rotations. Who designed this? Now, these POIs aren't completely unplayable, but they're also not places you would brag about. These POIs are where you land if your squad don't care, or when your main drop is being contested. Also have Lazy Lagoon from Chapter 3. It was like Lazy Links, but it absolutely failed. The loot wasn't great, the cover wasn't great, and the rotations were completely horrible. Next we have Colossal Crops from Chapter 2. It was just a lazy version of Frenzy Farm, to be honest, and it just didn't work out well. It was a cool idea and it looked kinda nice, but it just wasn't great. Next we have Viffy War from Chapter 6. It's just a bad place to rotate from, and the loot is decent, but just coming back is just a hard thing to do. Next, we have Steamy Stacks from Chapter 2 and 3. The OG one was decent from Chapter 2. It had good everything, pretty mid. But Chapter 3, it was really bad. The loot was absolutely garbage. I remember landing there and having nothing every single time. So that's why it's down there. Now, we're talking about the legendary POIs, where every single player wanted to drop. If your favorite POI is in here, congratulations, you got good taste. Let's get into it. First, we have the Grotto from Chapter 2 and Chapter 2 OG / Chapter 5. The vault was insane, the loot was very good, but also the best part was the minigun. It was so fun to play with, especially in OG when it came back, and you could hear Eminem keep on singing. It was so fun, and it felt like I was playing a heist game. Up next, we have Mega City. It felt like Cyberpunk 2077, but in Fortnite. It was really cool, but it was very spread out. And if you got caught on a zipline, you were dead because people just had got in. Next we have Slurpy Swamp. It had so much shield. You could just sit there. I remember Laserbeam made a video about it where he just sit there and won a game without storm sickness. That was really cool. And I wish I could go back and play that again, but it's gone now. But the fights were really bad because if you let them get away, they could just heal up to 100 and fight you again, and it was just a really bad place to fight. Next we have Lost Lake from Chapter 6. Epic finally got a water POI right. This is what Loot Lake should have been, but it wasn't, but it was still a good place. Next we have Reckless Railways from Chapter 5. The train kept on coming by, so it was a free rotation and free kills, so you also got loot from the train that you could land at, which I remember doing. It was a great time. Okay, now we got the best tier, the best of the best. First, we got Retail Row. It was a perfect balance of fights, loot, and nostalgia. I remember landing there and having a lot of brick, a lot of wood, and people used to land there a lot, so it was really fun to fight people there. Next, we got Brutal Beachhead. It was the drop of the new era. Tons of loot. It was high ground too, and the medallion and the AR was insane. I love landing there. Also have the Citadel from Chapter 4. The castle was an actual fortress. If you control this, you basically won the match already. Last but definitely not the least is Tilted Towers. If you landed there, yeah, they got 10 kills, or you died in 10 seconds. Just depended on how good you were, but it was so fun. It was so fun to play there, and whenever it comes back for OG, I land there every single time, and usually I get 10 kills because I'm the best. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I might just rank every single Fortnite weapon. Thanks for watching.